Hey friends, welcome to Sasser House. My name is Emily Ann and I am so excited you're here because today we get to grocery shop together. I love grocery shopping now that I've got like a system. When I first got married, I hated grocery shopping. And it's because I didn't have a system. So I'm going to walk you through how I grocery shop from start to finish with the planning, with the actual grocery shopping, the budgeting, the couponing, and all that good stuff. One of the biggest ways Chris and I are able to save money and live on a budget is by eating at home. It blows my mind how much food costs, whether you're at the grocery store or whether you're eating out. But I'll tell you what, time and time again, it is proven true that the more you can eat at home, the more money you will save. And you can still eat good at home. You don't have to eat beans and rice every day at home. And you don't have to eat Hamburger Helper every night at home, okay? You can eat really, really good and still save so much money just by making that switch. And I'm not saying Chris and I never eat out, but we probably only eat out once a month unless we're out on the road. And of course, that's a business expense with my business. So we don't really count that in our personal budget. But if we are home here in Middle Tennessee, we are eating at home. It is one of the biggest ways we have been able to save money and live on a budget. Now, I am in no way saying that just by going to the grocery store, you're going to automatically just save money. You can go to the grocery store and waste a ton of money. And that usually happens when you don't go in with a plan. And so when I first got married, I got this little notebook, and it's just a plain little notebook, and I Mod Podged some decorative paper on it. I guess I just thought that it was cute. Now I look at it and think, what the heck? But this is my grocery shopping notebook. And I have my very first time I went to the grocery store after Chris and I got home from our honeymoon in this little notebook. And this method has helped keep me on track and helped me from buying a bunch of stuff that's just gonna go to waste. I buy very intentionally because of the way that I plan. So I'm gonna walk you through my plan, and then we're gonna take inventory of what we've got in the house and make a list of what we need. The first thing I like to do is get some of my favorite cookbooks out, and I like to flip through those and see if there are any recipes that sound good. We have our staples that we like to cook, but then I love to look through cookbooks and get some new ideas to kind of switch things up or try out some recipes that we haven't tried yet. And this also helps me make a list of all the ingredients that are needed for those recipes so that we can write those down on our list. So once I've looked through my cookbooks and I have a pretty good idea of what I want to cook for the next couple weeks, then I find the next empty page in my notebook and I date it. Today is May 22nd, 5/22/24. And up top, I write meals, and then I start dating everything. So we have today, which is 5/22, and then we have tomorrow, which is 5/23, and I just continue this on. Today is a Wednesday. I like to try and grocery shop for at least, at the minimum, 2 weeks worth of suppers and everything we need so that I don't have to go to the grocery store all the time. I really don't enjoy quick trips to the grocery store. I like to have a plan, buy up what I need, come home, use it, and then reevaluate, go back and buy what I need for the next 2 weeks. Sometimes this lasts us 3 weeks because you've got leftovers and you get creative, and sometimes you've got some stuff to make more meals in the house that you didn't originally intend on. But I'm gonna at least write this out for 2 weeks. So the main thing that I will be writing up here is our suppers, because our suppers, majority of the time, become our lunches the next day. I will grocery shop to prepare a few lunches so that if we happen to not have leftovers one night, or if we go out of town and we come back home and we don't have leftovers, I'll have things that I'll be able to pull from for lunch. But I don't write out like breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas for each day. Now, if you have a big family and y'all eat all of your food for supper and you don't have any leftovers, then I would definitely write out what you want to have in the fridge to be able to make for lunches as well. Another thing that Chris and I don't eat a ton of is breakfast. I will have some breakfast options, and I'll show you what I do for that as well. But we don't eat a ton of breakfast. Now, if your family really loves breakfast, then you might want to make, a breakfast category, a lunch category, and a supper category. But this is how I do it for our little family, and that's what works for us. But figure out what works best for you. So after I have this written down, I'm going to go through and fill out what we want to eat. Now, obviously, like I said, there might be some nights that we end up eating leftovers, or we are not in the mood for what I was originally planning on cooking, and so I might cook something else with what we have on hand. This is just a guideline to get groceries in the house and give me something to work towards. Another thing that I don't really care about is eating the meals on the days that I wrote them down. This just helps me know that I will be buying meals for all of these days. So I might write down chicken enchiladas for tonight and get home and say, actually, I don't want to cook that. I want to cook something else. Or on the 27th, I might have meatball subs written down, but we don't want to eat meatball subs. We want to eat spaghetti. You know, whatever it may be, I can switch these around however I would like to, but this just gives me a guideline to work off of. So after I have all of my suppers written out, then I like to go down here and write breakfast. I'll look and see if I need any more smoothie stuff. I'm going to say smoothies, muffins. And then for lunch, I really like having things on hand that are pre-made for Chris and not like freezer foods. I really like having like homemade little pizza pockets, homemade taquitos, little things like that that he can take with him to work if we run out of leftovers. So I'm just gonna say pizza pockets, leftovers, and taquitos. But we should have plenty of leftovers here to work with. So after I have all of the things that we're going to be eating, then I come down here and I write out groceries. So then I like to go through my house, see what I have here on hand so that I don't go double buy things that I already have at home. I've done that before where I'm at the store and I'm like, oh, do I have taco seasoning packets? Or do I have a can of green beans at home? Or do I have milk? Do I have heavy cream? Do I have cheese? And then you go and you overbuy because you don't know what you have on hand. So I like to do a quick inventory, see what we have on hand, and then make a list of what we need. And I just do this recipe by recipe. So for chicken enchiladas, I know I need tortillas, I need chicken, I need enchilada sauce, I need cheese. You know, I just go through the list of what I need, and then I go through the house and I see what I have and what I don't. And I just go down the line and see what we've got and then make a list of what we need. All right, I have just about finished up my grocery list and we have got about 2 pages. I know that we'll end up filling up this page totally because it has been a while since we've gone to the grocery store. Not only do we need groceries, but we need laundry detergent, we need dishwasher pods, I think we need some dish soap. I think we're good on like toothpaste, toothbrushes, body wash, but I try to think about all that stuff too. That way I do a full inventory of the house and I know everything I need. But another thing I like to keep track of, and this is just personal preference for me, but I like to keep a good stock of certain items in our house. And mostly these items are all non-perishables. So things like dried pasta noodles, dried beans, rice, and I like to keep a lot of flour, sugar, and oats in the house. Just because if we ever need something and we don't have a ton of groceries in the house, if we need breakfast or if we need a little lunch, if I've got some pasta and I have some cheese, I can make macaroni and cheese. Or if I have pasta and I have a jar of pasta sauce, even if we don't have any protein, we can have some marinara and pasta. And so I just like to keep things like that on hand. I also like to do an inventory of any spices that I might have run out of so I can add those to the list and just try and check everything that we could possibly need. That way I don't have to go back to the store. Okay, I think I've pretty much got my list made and I just went and checked and we both have plenty of soap. We get our soap at Sam's and I get a bunch of this stuff that we're gonna get today at Sam's, but not all of it. There are some things that it makes more sense for us to buy in bulk, and then there are some things that it makes more sense for us to just get at the normal grocery store. But stuff like toothpaste and body wash, deodorant, trash bags, that's a thing we get at Sam's. We get our trash bags at Sam's once a year, and then we don't have to buy garbage bags for the rest of the year. So for certain things like that, it makes a lot of sense. And I just went and checked, and we both have a ton of body wash left from buying it up at Sam's. So I don't have to worry about getting any of that. And I know that the upfront cost of buying in bulk is more, and that can be overwhelming depending on how strict your budget is. But if you can afford to do it and you don't like going to the grocery store like me, then it might be a way for you to alleviate the number of trips and times you have to go to the store. But if you don't mind going to the grocery store, or if your budget is much stricter, then just buy what you need for 1 week, and you can go and think about the next week. You don't have to plan out in advance this far. Everybody's budget, everybody's home, everybody's life is different. And so just being able to have a plan is what helps me stay more organized and not get stressed out with thinking, what are we going to cook? Do we have food at home? And also it helps me not go to the grocery store aimless and kind of walking around thinking, okay, what could I cook? And throwing a bunch of stuff in the cart and then getting back home and thinking, oh, I forgot I needed to get this or needed to get that. This way keeps me really organized so that I don't forget anything for the most part, and I'm able to buy intentionally, and we use up everything we buy, and we don't have anything that goes to waste. One more thing that is helpful to kind of think through is if you are a big snacker, making sure that you write down whatever snacks you would want to have on hand. I have learned the hard way that me and Chris are snackers on certain things, but when I keep like a bunch of snacks in the house, we end up not eating them. We have got little individual bags of nuts like peanuts, salted cashews, and I think another kind in our pantry, and we do not eat them. Every once in a while, if we need something and there's nothing else in the house, we'll crack open a bag of those salted cashews or peanuts, but for the most part, we don't touch them. And so sometimes you buy stuff and you think, oh, we're going to love this, and then you get home and it sits there. So I try to think of like, what is some stuff that we actually enjoy snacking on, and that's something for you to think about too in your home and with your family, so that you can make sure that when there's times where you don't need a meal, but you just need something to munch on, you've got something on hand. One of the hardest things about coming to Sam's for me is they have everything, like literally everything, and so I want to look at all of it. But I'm trying to stay on track. I just let myself do a one little once through with my eyeballs, and then we move on. I think this is the aisle we need, maybe. Here we go. I love having the Kroger app on my phone to compare prices. These little Cascade dishwasher pods are $17.98 at Sam's, which to me, I'm like, $17 for dishwasher pods. Not what I want to spend $17 on. But you get 81 of them, and at Kroger, a 60 pack is $24. So, hello. Yeah, we're gonna get these. Okay, these boxes of old-fashioned oats right here for 5 pounds is $7.98. $8 for 5 pounds of oats. That's insane. You're not gonna beat that anywhere. Do you know how much oatmeal that is? If you've got a family and you're trying to feed them breakfast every day, 5 pounds of oatmeal for $8. You can't buy one breakfast chicken sandwich at the Chick-fil-A for $8. Not one. This would feed a family for months for $8. That's insane. Now this is a really good deal too, and we don't need any right now. We've got enough to get us through. But for $8.50, you can get this box. I love getting this, of 6 boxes of pasta. So you get 2 boxes of little elbow macaroni, 2 boxes of penne, and 2 boxes of spaghetti for $8. What? Okay, I am going off my list a little bit. So they have these Dole Tropical Gold pineapple chunks. It's in cans. You get 6 cans, and there's no sugar added. I checked the ingredients, and ain't nothing but canned pineapples. Chris loves pineapple, But sometimes when we buy a whole pineapple, he don't eat the whole thing, and then it goes bad. And I'm not a huge pineapple girl because it makes my throat itch. So sometimes it goes bad, but with these, if there's no sugar added, that may be a way that I could pack him in his lunch and get him some good fruit. Another thing that I love getting at Sam's are these little, they're like raw tortillas. And they're already rolled out, and all you gotta do is heat them up. But the ingredients in them could not be plainer. It's like oil, water, flour, salt, and that's it. And so I love getting those when I'm here too, because they're a pretty good deal. I love making homemade tortillas, but it takes a minute to do them. And so these are really great. And it looks like this little package right here. So with Sam's, usually everything is in like really big containers. So it doesn't always make sense to put them into bags. But I like to keep all my reusable bags in the car. That way when I get home, I have less trips to make inside. All right, y'all, we are all done at Sam's, and now we just have a couple little things to go pick up at Aldi. I'm getting some of my fresh produce and a couple other little things at Aldi. I get like milk and like heavy cream. I'm trying to think of what else. Chicken's gonna be at Aldi. Some things like that we're gonna get there. Now, if you have an Aldi in your area and you have not given it a try, and you are on a budget, you've got to go to Aldi. I used to shop at Kroger for everything, and I still go to Kroger for some stuff. Like we get all of our sodas at Kroger. Don't worry, I'm at a stop sign. We get all of our sodas at Kroger, and there's still a couple things that I will go into Kroger for. When I first started grocery shopping, I always went to Kroger, and I would just clip coupons on the app. They have a great app system, and their gas points are great, but best prices around are hands down Aldi. The only hiccup is they don't always have everything you need, so sometimes I have to go to Kroger too. If you're looking for something real specific, like a specific seasoning or specific cheese, or I don't know, something that's not just like cheddar or mozzarella or, you know, salt, pepper, paprika, garlic, onion powder, stuff like that. If it's like something fancy, sometimes you have to go to a different supermarket. But for the most part, Aldi has everything you need, and their prices are unbeatable. Okay, just for example, I wanted to do like the big stuffed shells for one of our meals for some kind of different pasta. They don't sell those here, but they have tons of pasta. They've got angel hair, spaghetti, penne, rotini, elbow macaroni. I mean, they got everything that you can want. And they also have options that are like brown rice and quinoa penne, chickpea penne, whole wheat, chickpea penne. So like they've got stuff like that too. It's not just the normal stuff, but they don't have any of the big shells. Another thing I love about Aldi is they have these little like extras aisles, and there's all kinds of stuff in here. Like, let me show you. I'm really tempted to buy this for my back porch, but I don't need it. They have these little planter things little hanging planters. Super cute for just $9.99. And there's all kinds of kids' toys. There's a little adventure cooler backpack. That's cute. And it's like insulated. 25 bucks. There's like outdoor rugs. There's little lawn chairs. There's all kinds of stuff. Like literally all kinds of stuff. There's box fans. I'm looking all around to see if there's anything else I need to report on. There's stuff that like would even be good gifts. This is a pizza set. It's so cool. It has like a bunch of pieces to it. Just all kinds of stuff in here. And I always like looking through it. Another thing about Aldi is they don't have plastic bags to bag up all your groceries. So once you check out with all your groceries, they have a little area where you can bag up your groceries, or if you have boxes or any way that you want to consolidate all the groceries that you bought. And I personally like this because then I don't have a bunch of plastic bags to throw away when I get home. Okay, so we are done at the Aldi, and unfortunately, this Aldi's freezer section was down. Like, down big time. There was nothing in their freezer section. So, that was a couple things that I wasn't able to get. I'm right across the street from a Kroger. I really don't want to go to another grocery store, but I think I'm gonna have to. we're gonna go to Kroger and then we're gonna be done. And then we're not gonna have to think about it for literally weeks. Once I got home from the store, I got busy putting away all the cold items first into the fridge. And then I like to go through and restock any containers that I hold these groceries in. So for instance, I like to keep dry goods like pastas, rice, oats, anything like that, my flour, sugar, brown sugar, things like that. I like to keep them in canisters and get them out of the packages that they come in. With these oats, I try to go ahead and dump out any of the ones that are left in the container. That way I'm not just like topping it off. And then I'll put those older oats on top. That way we use those first and we're not just continually keeping the older stuff down at the bottom of our containers, if that makes any sense. A lot of this stuff we got so much of because we went to Sam's that I had to put it into multiple containers, but that's fine. At least I'll know that I'll have it on hand for quite a while and I won't have to buy this stuff for a really long time. It definitely is a bigger investment up front to buy in bulk like this and to go grocery shopping, and that's why a lot of people think that it's so much cheaper to go out to eat, but you get so much more for your money. And we are going to be able to make so many meals with the groceries that we bought together today. All right, friends, we got all the groceries put away. I got my comfies on. I just made supper for me and Chris. We enjoyed that. The dishes are done. And now we get to just chill for the rest of the evening. Thank you guys so much for going grocery shopping with me today. We got a ton of stuff. And with buying bulk at Sam's like that, I will have plenty of groceries for more than the 14 days that we planned for. And the next time I go to the store, I know I won't have to buy as much as I did today. I really let things dwindle down for this video to take you along for the process, but also just to try and challenge myself to clean out everything that I had so that I could start fresh and so that I would use up the things that I had already bought. I hope this video encouraged you to try and start cooking from home more and to not be so intimidated with grocery shopping and meal planning and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And once again, we appreciate y'all being here so much. It means the world to us that you would take time out of your day to spend time on Sasser House with us. God bless y'all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.